What up, though? Welcome to Les Nation. I'm your host, Mr. Les Nation, y'all. If you like my video, y'all, subscribe, share, like, comment. This don't threat me and leave me, don't pick on me either. And yes, y'all, I need a haircut. Lord knows I need a haircut, y'all. But for real, y'all, I have a confession to make. I have a guilty pleasure, y'all. I have a guilty pleasure, y'all. You know how you ever liked something that's like kind of beneath you, but sometimes you just watch it? It's like that corny record. It may be corny, but you like it. That food you're not supposed to eat, but you eat it anyway. Or that it was. I remember. I'm gonna before I get to what I have to say, y'all. Bear with me. I remember when I was a kid. Being from Detroit. When I was a kid, it was a local popular show called The New Dance Show. It was kind of like a Soul Train wannabe show, it was kind of like backward, but you just watched it for entertainment purpose, you know. And that's how I look at Country Wayne. I'm not listening, y'all. Before y'all saying, "Oh, you a hater," no, I'm not knocking his success. I mean, you make your money, you make your money. You know, some people gonna say I'm backward, or the way I talk is not elegant. I know I'm not the greatest, have the greatest voice, y'all. I get it, but opinion is opinion, y'all. And Country Way, like I said, he making his money. He's proven. I'm gonna give him his flowers first. He's proving that you don't need Hollywood. Or New York to be successful. He's proven that you can just go on Facebook, YouTube, and become a millionaire. He's proven that. Hey, you can't knock the hustle, y'all. Believe me, I'm not hating on him. I'm not that part. And yes, Country Wayne is funny. I think he's funny, y'all. I mean, he ain't Dave Chappelle funny or Richard Pryor funny, but he makes me laugh. I've been, when Country Wayne first came on the scene, when I first started checking out his videos on YouTube, they were funny. We had Big Mike and the what you call it, with the Vending Machine Boys. That was funny when he did a Sugar Daddy. I forgot what's his name. I forgot, yeah. It's gonna come back to me. That was funny when he played the drug dealer. That was funny. When he just stuck to comedy, that was funny. He should stay in his lane. But lately, he's oversaturating everybody with all these what you call toxic videos, unnecessary drama, stuff that just don't make no sense. I mean, he makes Tyler Perry right now, Country Wayne. If he just was stuck with comedy, that's different. But now he's doing all these toxic situations. He made Country Wayne look like Martin Scorsese. He makes Tyler Perry looks like Steven Spielberg right now. He making Tyler Perry look like Stevie Wonder. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, but the thing is, and then on top of that, y'all, he got the nerve to say Jesus is popping. For real, Country Wayne. Just remember, y'all, if you know your Bible, the devil, he blesses too. The Jesus Country Wayne says Papa is not the Jesus in the Bible. I can almost guarantee you that, y'all, because listen, Country Wayne, God is not approving you of your lot of your videos. So don't give Jesus credit, y'all. Stop fooling yourself, Country Wayne. Ask God to forgive you. A lot of it you need to be asking God to forgive you. But I want to talk about. But what I really want to talk about is the Anthony Dalton character. Listen, y'all. Anthony Dalton, all this video, there's some things about his character I do not agree with. He is actually the real victim of all this situation, y'all. Like him or not, he is actually the real victim of everything. Yeah, there's some things he did to Amber that was foul, you know. Yes, he come across as a simp, but he's not a simp. You know, he's a man, but you know, sometimes you could be a winner, but have a loser's mentality. That's Anthony. He's actually a winner. He's the man, but he has what you call a simp mentality. Then you have someone like Shayla, who's actually a loser, but she walk around like she winning out here, you know? It's one of them situations where you could be a loser, but acting like you winning out here. While Anthony and Amber, they're hot, they are winners, but they out here simping. But here's the situation: if you now, I remember when Anthony first came on the scene, Mr. Dalton. When he first, it was like maybe 2 years ago. I guess Rolanda role, you know. Before I get to Anthony, I want to talk about Rolanda, y'all. Why are we trying to treat Rolanda as this phenomenon woman? She just a dressed up HO. She just a dressed up HO. I'm trying to be PG, y'all, about this. Ain't nothing phenomenal. You damn. I mean, excuse me. God forgive me for saying that, y'all. She about almost 60 years old, trying to act like you 20 something, trying to chase after young boys. Old woman for the streets. She looked like she dressed like she a phenomenal woman, but she ain't nothing but a. Don't get me wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's gorgeous. I'm not saying she ain't gorgeous, but act your age. I ain't saying she need to act like granny, but you too old to be for the streets. You know, I'm 52 years old. I mean, it is what it is, y'all. We can still do things. I mean, I ain't say you gotta be in cane in the old folks' home, but still, you ain't 20 years old no more. But getting back to Anthony Dalton, getting back to light skin, getting back to him, y'all. Yes, I need a haircut. I know that. I know that. So you can bear all this. Just hear the story, y'all. It all started when Rolanda was going grocery shopping, and she ran to Anthony. You know, he thought she was fine and stuff. You know, and they started. You know, but at the time she was dating Mike. But I guess I don't know what really happened. All I know was, you know, Rolanda and Country Wayne was doing business together, and Mike somewhere got into the situation, and they started, you know, selling houses and stuff, you know. And I guess during that time, down the line, her and Mike broke up. So I guess Rolanda and Anthony started to get close. And this is where I felt that was really fun because Anthony really liked it, Rolanda. And it was obviously that Rolanda liked it, Anthony, y'all. She really liked it, Anthony. So they know she came to his house, he gave her dinner, and they started singing, I wanna be free, free. You know, she's talking about she wanna be free and stuff. So next thing you know, they made love. They made them, you know, she put on Atlanta, you know, And I guess Atlanta was loving it. But then, as I guess she was walking in the house, I guess some woman in the past with Anthony, she I guess she told Anthony that she was pregnant, So that's when Rolanda started looking at Anthony sideways, like this, I guess he wanted to be a part of the child's life. He didn't want to be with the baby mama, but he did want to be a father because that's always been Mr. Anthony Dalton's dream. He always wanted a child, and I guess Rolanda she wasn't trying to be no stepmother, so I guess she broke it off. I mean, she broke it off with Anthony, because she did not want to be a stepmother. And I guess that really hurt Anthony, you know what I'm saying? And she was now it was the way she did it. Rolanda was she filed for this. And Rolanda is a prime example of that a good man, you could a good man could really want you. Because Anthony was really, I think if Anthony and Rolanda got together, and he would have worshipped the ground she walked on. But she didn't want that. She was for the streets. I mean, think of all the guys that she been with. But Anthony the one who really loved her. But she, you know, she just said, "Well, I get many words." She was like, "We can still make this money." I wanted after that, I would have cut her off because Anthony was a very rich man. He didn't need Rolanda. He didn't need Country Wayne. And with Country Wayne, if you really notice the videos, he was always, I think he was jealous of Anthony because Country Wayne always felt that I'm rich, but when he found somebody else was rich, it was always this competition with Country Wayne. And I think in real life, me personally, I think Country Wayne don't like light skinned ninjas. I think he got something in it because he definitely portraying Anthony as a simp. Like a simp. It's like he is actually Country Wayne is actually pushing the light skinned stereotype, sensitive. Even though he's smart, but he's a wimp. The whole light skinned stereotype, the bar situation. But I know I'm going a little too long, you know what I'm saying. But if you like my video, subscribe, y'all. But getting back, y'all, let me kind of fast forward it. But as you know, Dalton, he moved. He accepted that Rolanda didn't want to be with him, so he wound up getting with Amber. Everything. Everyone know that Amber used to date Country Wayne. Now, mind when Country Wayne had Amber, he treated her like crap. He played games. Country Wayne was good for playing games, and boys using Jesus popping. Jesus was not in that Country Wayne, believe me. When you did Amber wrong, Jesus was not popping on that. You was popping, but not Jesus, y'all. So, but getting back to you, so they were dating. Everything seemed good, but I guess Country Wayne, even though now mind he didn't want to be with Amber no more, but since he saw Anthony and Amber, she saw that Amber was happy, he decided, because he knew deep down Amber liked it. He knew deep down still liked him. So while Amber and Anthony was dating, she wound up sleeping with Country Wayne and loving every minute of it. And Anthony, like I said, let's say what you want to say about Anthony. When they were dating, when they were engaged, Anthony was faithful. He was very faithful to Amber, And I mean, so I guess Amber and Country Wayne decided when she marries Anthony, she's not gonna mess with Country Wayne. So this show you how Amber, like I said, Amber was foul too. She slept with Kountry all the way before the night of the marriage, y'all. So Amber, if anybody was foul first, was Amber, y'all. She was real foul. I mean, even though she wasn't married to Anthony, but they were still, but she did deceive Anthony because she made it like she wasn't cheating on Anthony. So yeah, they weren't married, but they were still dating and courting. So this is my situation. Let's say if I was let's say if I was engaged, if I was sleeping around, that's still wrong, y'all. Because if I'm with you, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Even if we ain't married, but we a couple or we engaged, wrong is wrong, you know. And Anthony had he thought that Amber was being faithful. But then, but we all know, but let's keep going down. Amber had a friend named Shayla. Ooh, Shayla. Shayla, can you say it? Shayla. Now, Maya, she was dating Country Wayne friend. Brother, Arby. But she saw something, it was something about Anthony that just, she had to have him. So what happened was, she was plotting from the get-go. But let's go back to the whole scene. This is where Anthony started to get. This is when Anthony started to show his dark side. Because when Rolanda was getting married to that one dude, that bald head guy, he ruined the marriage. He left Amber so he could move in with Rolanda because he wanted to be with Rolanda. That was actually his first choice. Even though he loved Amber, but Rolanda was his first choice. But I guess what happened was down the line, I guess Amber wanted to work her marriage. She plays the like, okay, Anthony, I forgive you. You know what I'm saying? And he wound up going back to Amber. And I guess Anthony realized the error of his ways, and he wanted to be a good husband to Amber because he read fast. Because at the time, he didn't know that Country Wayne was smashing Amber. He didn't know that. But we're going to get to that, y'all. But during the time as Amber and Anthony was working out their marriage, Shayla was eyeing Anthony. She wanted Atlanta. Even though she had a husband, she had a man. She had a man Arby that worshiped the ground she walked on. That wasn't good enough. Shayla was for this. She was definitely for the streets. And she's still for the streets. But the situation is that, but getting back, and what happened was, I guess it was some party. Anthony, one of the biggest Anthony liked to drink. So he had a little too much to drink. And what happened was, I guess Amber had to take care of some business and stuff. And Anthony went, I guess he was, you drunk sometimes you get a little, you get a little freaky. He wanted to get freaky with his wife, So what happened was, I guess this when Shayla started to come in, y'all. This is where she came in. She decided to seduce Anthony while he was drunk, while he was very intoxicated and horny, y'all. This is what she did, y'all. And like I said, at first he was trying to exist. Y'all to give Anthony his props. He wasn't trying to go there with Shayla, but he was drunk. And sometimes when you're drunk, you let your guard down, temperature rises. And Shayla was looking, and believe me, y'all. Say you want to say about Shayla, y'all. I mean, I can see why guys was falling for her. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think Amber, don't get me wrong, Amber is very beautiful. But Shayla just got that seductress about her. She may be LD, not that bright, but she know. But two things Shayla know she got going on. She gorgeous, and she probably got the real good. She got the good. Not trying, But what happened was, I guess when she I guess she wound up putting on Anthony. Boy, at first Anthony was going to like, I can't do this no more. He was gonna tell Amber. Then that's when Shayla decided to spill the beans about her and Country Wayne. And what happened was, a girl. I guess he confronted Country Wayne. It was a big old blow up. Then I guess Amber apologized. They wound up getting back together. Now, me personally, if my business partner, I knew my business partner was sleeping with my wife, I would never do business with that guy again. That's what like I said, Anthony didn't need Country. Anthony had money. He was already a multimillionaire. He was already doing good before Country Wayne. He would never be around especially if I'm trying to work my marriage. That man would never be around my wife. Because like I said, Anthony did not need Country Wayne. But here's the situation. Even though he forgave Amber, but I guess he couldn't stay away from Shayla because she was giving him the good, the the yum yums. Yeah. So he couldn't stay away from Shayla. So Shayla wound up getting pregnant. And the thing was, Anthony, he gave her, bought her apartment, paid all the bills, Even though she was still with Arby. She did Arby just so disrespectful. I felt bad for Arby. But I'm gonna try showing this up, y'all. But here's the thing. Anthony was, he was loving I'm not saying he loved Amber, but he was loving him some Shayla. Because like I said, Shayla put it on him. But then Shayla, not only she was sleeping, this is how skanky she was. She wound up sleeping with Mike. And Mike wound up catching feelings, you know what I'm saying? Now I know it's about Mike. He had other females he liked it. But it was something about Shay, the way she put on Mike. Mike was catching feeling, but I guess Mike wasn't. I guess Mike was not good enough for her. She wanted Anthony. Anthony had the bag. And y'all know, but I'm just going to just fast forward. Well, they actually, what's her name? Amber caught Anthony and Shayla in bed together. Amber was like, she tricked me. She thought that Shayla was a real friend. Even though she know Shayla was easy, she still was her friend. She thought that was her friend, y'all. And then I guess Anthony for a while decided to be with Shayla, And people said the reason why Anthony decided to get back with Amber because of he wanted, because Anthony and Amber signed a prenup. But I kind of see it differently, yo. Why I say that? Because I really do think that Anthony still loves Shayla. I put it like this. I don't care how good the sex is. Ain't no sex. Sometimes, like I said, he probably was seeing past that. He realized he started seeing things about Shayla that he didn't see before. I don't care how good the sex is. He knew she was. She was probably beautiful, and did probably put it on him. But eventually, you're gonna get tired of it, because Shayla is really dead weight. So he decided to go back to Amber, work on his marriage. And like I said, and Shayla got this idea that Anthony was playing games when all along she was playing games. And the thing is, I do believe that Country Way in real life, y'all. If I'm wrong for saying this, then God forgive me. But I think that in real life, Country Wayne and Amber got, not, I mean, Shayla got some going on, and I think I think she vexed Country Wayne. I think cause like I said, he make her out to be the victim. He make her out to be like she was the like she's this phenomenal. Ain't nothing phenomenal about Shayla. And I think that's why I believe that Country Wayne is he's backward. I think the letters people I see some of the message. He has a backward audience, y'all. I know I'm gonna get some backlash for saying this, but because they trying to promote Shayla as this winner when she's really not. You know what I'm saying? And with Amber, you being from Detroit, y'all. Come on, Amber. You out here. I mean, you're beautiful, you're smart, but you making Detroit look bad out here with your long suffering. Detroit women are not like that. Amber, you giving Detroit a bad name. Don't listen, Amber. Please don't mention Detroit. Cause you're making us look bad out here. You making us look bad. We don't kowtown to Atlanta. I'm gonna tell y'all something. We Detroit gave Atlanta a life. That's just the truth, y'all. Before Detroit came to Atlanta was just a Bama state, y'all. They were Hicks. But it's Detroit that gave them a style, gave them swag. We gave them an identity. We gave them a voice. I mean, it is what it is, y'all. But again, back to the situation. The reason I believe that they're continuing to, because right now, a lot of Country Wayne skits it's not that good, y'all. And right now, the only thing he got going on is the Shayla, Anthony, Angelina controversial. He's trying to, he's running out of ideas, y'all. That's why he's trying to prolong this thing, because because right now, Country Rain is oversaturating himself with a lot of unnecessary videos, y'all. Oh, getting back to Mike, y'all. I just remember, y'all. I miss the Global Boys. I wish they just go back to doing comedy, though. All this unnecessary toxic crap. Country Wayne, you need to stay to do what you know best. You're not. I mean, these serious kids is just not. It's just not kicking it, man. I'm not telling you not to make your money, man. But man, we missed the laughter, you dude. Get back to being funny, man. All this toxic stuff. And like I said, y'all, Country Wayne, please stop saying Jesus is popping because God is not happy with a lot of your videos, man. I'm a hater, but if you like my videos, y'all. But hold on, y'all. Let me just say this. Anthony is the victim, y'all. He is like Anthony or not, he is the victim. That's all I have to say about that, y'all. I didn't expect it to be this long, but it is what it is. Peace.